If you haven't heard about Anchor, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Lawful Stupid just jumped over. First of all, it's free, and we love that. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, wherever you're at, all on the go. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. There are a lot of other vendors out there, a lot of platforms that they will make sure your podcast gets to. So it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money from your podcast with zero minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Yeah, I just hope you know that I've been drinking this whole time, and I'm just getting more and more into it. The later we go to now this is the real start.
This is the real start. I've really just been prepping all of your shit content out of it.
What? We were getting into some really good stuff.
It says Lawful Stupid is now live, so I have to assume at this point.
Oh, yes, we're live.
Really no joke live at this moment.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Lawful Stupid, episode 2, Legend of the Take 17. We got this thing working, I think.
It has been a long and arduous journey.
Yeah, it's been 30 minutes worth of content. Yeah, there's bugs.
Before it even started. And now I can see the comments that are rolling in. Okay, so the way this show is going to work is I'm going to just ask questions, and then natively the conversation will happen. We already kind of did a dry run, but we'll kind of go back through that to some degree.
It was a very wet run.
Very dry. Very, very dry.
Yeah, it was very dry.
That was very much a just the tip run of it.
Slow crawl, more than a...
Yeah, so I was mentioning that they are playing in this world that they've never played in. Most of our D&D campaigns that we've ever played that have not been podcast related have been very much custom. I don't know that... I mean, we played from the book a few times. One of the books...
yeah, we played from...
The vampire one?
Not really. We never got into that. It was the Horde of the Dragon Queen that we played predominantly.
Oh, we did Curse of Strahd too, because Devin posted it once.
I was not involved in that.
I was not either.
No. I ran that for some randos at home. Yeah.
We played Curse of Strahd because I remember going into the haunted place. I'm pretty sure Shane ran it for us. And
I ran one session of Curse of Strahd before I was like, fuck this book, and moved on. Sorry, you love that book. I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't super crazy. But anyways, it's a homebrew content. It's a world that I built. And so the characters, the players, the guys have experienced a very, very, very small part of this world. So we're going to go round robin style, and I'll start with Shane again on the time that we're actually live streaming and say, what do you think about the world so far that you've seen, and how does it stack up against the character that you've built for it?
So Christoph has predominantly spent his time in the very bustling city of Oxbane. And I think his biggest disappointment would probably have to be he's not seen a single ox ritually slaughtered to date. And I thought there would be a lot more of that in a town called Oxbane. So that's kind of just where he's at.
That's his big letdown.
Other than that, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm loving the political intrigue. I'm liking mixing it up with some of the bigger names in Oxbane. But I expected more ox slaughter, frankly.
So what I like what you said about that is I built this town, like fleshed it out. I remember messaging you guys late one night saying I built a ton of characters I'm pretty sure you're not going to use. You used the characters I was not expecting you to use, right? Like I expected you to interact with some of the other ones, and Shane or Christoph is very much like, no. I have my own version of the newsroom going on, and it's this podcast.
Yeah, I'm basically modern day Don Quixote.
Mm-hmm.
So, does that mean Atlas is your Pancho Villa?
Yes.
Yep.
And you're my donkey.
Shouldn't Atlas be the donkey though?
Everyone's my donkey.
That's awkward.
This podcast is better than we're making it seem.
Well,
it actually is exactly this level.
Yeah, no, you're getting. So, Rowan, Alex Rowan, what do you think about the world so far?
I mean, I think it's good. I don't have anything negative to say about it. I mean, I do really wish that we would go back to the match game format where you referred to us as the suitors, but as far as the world goes, I mean, Rowan Dig, it's another port for him.
All right. Devin, Atlas, how is it being in Oxbane?
I love this town. It's my roots. It's what I do. I live here. I know all the places. I have the only forge in town, and so I'm kidding. The dry run of this was Dwayne telling me how, in fact, I do not have the only forge in town. I have a forge in town.
And to be fair, it's Yards now.
It is Yarks. I used to own it. That's for
He's like the guy who sells
later
out
on.
and is like, no, I was the best. Yeah, but man, like, you're retired. But I was the best. Nobody made a shovel like me.
They still
Nobody.
don't. Still don't.
Well,
The shovel game.
That's all you make, because there's shovels. Everybody knows they're
You got a backlog.
Sword
Yeah, but like,
shovel.
what shovel does like a 3d10 damage or whatever it was?
To be fair, that was
shovel that he
the magical
catapults,
spell.
really.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be yours.
It literally could have been a pile of feces and it would have done the exact same amount of damage.
Exactly. Any
Not joking.
object.
That is
They are pretty closely related, apparently.
Yeah, actually, I want you to use feces now and call your monkey style for catapult.
Nice.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But I love the town. It's where I had made my living, and it's more so in the past. But now, I mean, I'm happy making runs, delivering the things that Yarg makes. Anyways.
Nice. So one thing I want to ask you guys about, and Shane brings this to mind more than anybody else. One of the things we did when we were setting up this podcast, we've changed our intro and outro a little bit, which is cool. It's very narratively different. It's a lot easier on me, and I think it's more podcasty the way we do it now. But one of the things I still do and plan to always do is, after the guys play a session, I'm going back in and adding in audio bits.
Things
that they don't see, things that their players don't experience, something just a little bit for the audience to hear, possibly before everybody else, except for Shane, because he listens to it as soon as it's downloadable. So I'll ask you first, Shane. What was your first reaction to the audio bit that you got? And
I think it's Gnome Gate, right? Like that's.
So we can also say, like, sorry to cut you off. If you haven't listened to all the 8 episodes, there's going to be a little bit of spoiler in this. So you pause here, go listen to 8 hours worth of our voices. You will love every ounce of it, and then come back and resume. So go ahead, Shane.
So yeah, Gnome Gate I think is what comes to everybody's mind when we think about post session content that was added. So Christoph, being just the conniving, scheming, kind of whirlwind of political intrigue that he is, was going through and setting up some dominoes. And then I'm thinking I did really good. I'm thinking everything's going great. And then I hear the recording of the session of me speaking to Justicar Swan, Madman Swan, and I feel like Dwayne hates it when I call him that because I made it up. But I'm listening to the recording, and there's just like this subtle music comes in. It's like, and unbeknownst to Christoph, there was a gnome listening around the corner, hurriedly returned to their master. And I'm like, my first reaction, like, it's late at night. I'm listening to this recording as it releases at midnight because that's the kind of person that I am. And I hear this and I go, no fucking perception check? Really, dog? Just a spy gets me? And that was I loved it though. So like simultaneously being like distraught and upset, almost feeling cheated, frankly, from Gnome Gate. I also was like, man, this is amazing because here I'm a part of this. I'm a player in this session. I feel like I'm really a part of the story, and there's just stuff going on that I don't even know about until it's public. And I was like, that is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really
regardless of how I have been slighted.
Okay, let's pause. Let's talk about that. You haven't been slighted, actually, from a mechanical standpoint. So you only have to do a perception check when you're looking for something, right? Like, otherwise, at any point in the time, I can take your passive perceptions against their stealth rolls. There was a chance that person could have rolled a low stealth check and you would have noticed her.
I will turn in my character sheet if you can tell me what my passive perception is right now.
Yours is probably 13 or 14.
Probably. You do not know.
I will turn in my character sheet right now.
I know I'm right because it can't be higher than that based on the rest of your stats.
Oh, it's much lower than that, Dwayne, but you didn't know that.
I mean, to be fair, I super love that because it makes it feel like there's a world going on around us and kind of reminds us like,
Absolutely.
I mean, there's other stuff going on other than just what you're doing, and it has consequences.
It's not
So
just like
I take that.
It keeps
we
even
haven't-
us as players like wanting to listen to our own episodes. I'm just waiting to like find out what Dwayne has put in every episode.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, Dwayne. You're my favorite.
You guys. But yeah, no, I think there's a lot to say to that. And to talk about the living world, you're right. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that I'm tracking. There's people you guys talk to and you don't interact in the ways I think you would, and that changes the flow of how you'll interact with them next time. You guys initially weren't going to be fuck, that was almost a spoiler. Some of the stuff that happened in the newest episodes were not necessarily going to happen except for the actions you guys took. And that changed the story that I was building for you guys, which is very fun.
Is it because we're so much nicer than you anticipated?
No, it's because, like I said, Shane's doing like political ploys, and you guys are sparing people versus murdering them, so people are talking to each other and stuff.
Yeah, it was the big change. Yeah, I did not
It's
expect
not
that.
necessarily that you guys are nice to any individuals, but you're leaving people alive to talk, which is a route that you can take it. Or you could have killed them, but that also, would have changed the way the story works. So it's very interesting dealing with that. Though I really enjoy the little sound bits, putting them in there. Probably one of my favorite parts.
I like the one that Alex had this last time. It's like, I just put some clever in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The audio.
Yeah.
You're slower than your brain. And
Sonic
vice
the
versa.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Got something funny in. Spoiler. I really just went to YouTube and typed in "sick burn," and that was like the top 5 videos. It was Sonic
Nice.
trash talking.
Nice.
Copyright be damned. Thought it was fucking hysterical. So,
I think we
Yeah,
covered under the Parody Act. Fair use act.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, of course.
For sure.
The Patriot Act, even. That's
Yeah.
really.
There's an act. There's an act that makes everything we do okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the Lawful Stupid Act.
It's a law. Stupid.
Yeah, long.
Idiots.
Devin, tell me about Atlas, and tell me so. I really want to know more about Atlas's relationship with his papa, because
Oh,
Henry.
episode
Cats in the cradle in the
Silver
Silver
spoon.
spoon.
calling
Little
him
boy
Henry
blue,
in the
man
first
in the
30
blue.
minutes to this hard switch to father, real quick, and I just what? I need to know more about that because it made no sense to me.
well, as you know in the org culture, we like to. I wanted my cohorts to understand that I had this familiarity with Henry, so I knew him, and so I wanted to ease them into me calling him father and pops.
You introduced us to him as your father.
Yeah, you
Yes,
did.
it's
That's
true.
my father.
This is
Henry.
my father,
Listen,
And
Henry.
then started
It was-
calling him Henry.
Go on.
As a fantasy anthropologist, amateur of course, I'm very interested in this orc dynamic.
And as a fantasy sociologist, I as well.
And as a fantasy archaeologist, we're gonna have to dig deeper on this and hopefully find the answers.
Well done. I think what you are really referring to is that in orc culture,
Haley, yeah.
you respect warriors and martial prowess,
No,
and
no.
it wasn't until after you saw Henry smash open
Smash
the
the
head with a hammer.
Henry's a badass.
That's my dad. That's my dad.
Yeah, that's immediately was the switch. Like, that's my papa. That's my papa right there.
I was all
Worked out
like-
real good.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I love him. I love he and Teresa, my mother. I feel like Matt, that you've said that, like every time I say her name, I go, Teresa, my mother, like as if to remind everyone, like they don't remember. Oh, and
Yeah.
Henry, my father.
I genuinely enjoyed how you guys came together and Atlas's like want and need for adventure versus Rowan's like "Meh, I'm here, like whatever.
Now,
And
there's more to that than you think.
no, there hasn't been though. I think, and I
I
think
sense
Atlas
it.
would agree with me.
Kristoff senses it underneath the surface.
But like he really hasn't shown any. So Atlas is very much like adventure. I want to fight. Let's be friends. Kristoff is like, I want to be important. Everybody talk to me. Let's get my station up.
I feel like that's not. So I will take this moment on the record to discuss the motivate, because that is what I get a lot from Dwayne. Is he thinks that like, oh, Kristoff wants to rise in station. He wants to, be this important political figure. That's could not be further from the truth. Like I won't get into his true motives, his true ambitions, but just believers out there, true believers know that is not what he's about at all. And if you go to
Atlas,
the message boards, you'll see people out there agree with me. They know it.
could you
Yeah.
put a link? Could you put a link in for those message boards?
It's just
Yeah.
Shane with 7 different accounts posting in a Reddit.
It's not even 7 different accounts. It's the same account. It's actually Christoph Shindo at gmail.com and Uncle Shanesaw at gmail.com conversing
Emailing
back
each
and
other
forth.
Back and forth. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's on message board. It's just me talking basement late at night,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have a basement.
That's awkward.
Yeah,
All of
That tracks. It tracks.
So
Okay, so that actually speaks more to it. Just very much like they have zero idea what I'm doing. I have zero idea what they're doing with their characters.
It's
Just
true.
like what motive I guess at them. I can only guess based on how your characters are acting, what they're doing in these towns. And I mean, what Kristoff is doing is he's either building up his own brand or he's destroying something else for a whole another reason. And it is what it is, right? But Rowan, like I really haven't seen much out of him other than like this wisecracking bard.
this is what Christoph sees. And this is because this is just in-game interaction. Alex has not told me anything about his character. I see Rowan as he's just like chasing his bliss, like he's doing his own thing. No, he's doing his own thing for the sake of doing his own thing, right? So like he knows that he's like his heart speaks true, and it just tells him what to do. And sometimes it's like stealing from a church lady, and sometimes it's like helping a boy save his mother. Sometimes it's just whatever his heart tells him in the moment is the right thing to do. He just sees where that goes, and he knows going in like maybe it could be a bad result, maybe it could be a good result, but he just knows that it's where he's supposed to be. That's what I sense as Christoph Shindo.
Like, I don't want to spoil a lot, but I will say that helping someone save their mother garners way more than 20 gold can buy.
I see that adds depth, right? Just without even talking about your backstory, that adds depth. Because I
Mhm.
just don't get that from Rowan. Like to me, you're showing a very light amount of character, which that in itself speaks volumes. Like Devin said, you're the most
Enigmatic.
Thank you. You're the most mysterious of the group.
Well, like,
But I see you as
if-
like Bono in a leather jacket with like a guitar.
oh,
Like
don't
just
say
I'm just
Bono.
like.
Ugh.
Well, that's just like the ladies go for you put in your own rock or whoever you just
Who's
like
the
to me,
lead singer
you're
of The Cure?
Robert Smith.
Yeah,
whoever
Robert
it
Smith.
is. So I just see you as like this cool guy who like I get to hang out with who also is going to help me like go on adventures. And you guys, if you hadn't got it, Alice is like a super simple dude. He just wants to smash things and go on this adventure for whatever reason, which we will get into more as we like hopefully carry on through these stories, and you'll get to pull a little bit more out of that from maybe the school years. And why I want adventure so bad. Like, why does he want to do this? Why doesn't he just go by himself anyways if he wanted adventure?
Yeah, see, that's kind of my thing. It's like, I'll give up story tidbits when they become relevant. Like, I just don't want to throw it out there to throw it out there. Like, I want it to kind of be cohesive with it. So,
I want the
I think
world
we
to
all
know. You can read my
agree with
blog.
yeah.
I think we all agree with that. We're just trying to, exposition a little bit about what we've got going on. Speaking of that, I want to ask the thoughts around Fendel.
I love him.
Findle's great. Yeah, he's great.
Okay.
Wait, personally, or is like characteristic, or like
I mean, a little bit of
me as
everything.
Devin?
Like, I'm just curious. Just because you've all interacted him in different ways entirely, and so I'm very curious about that, especially when you take the loot into concessions. Oh, nope. Can't use words today. The loot
He's okay.
consideration.
I mean, Scott, you look like you've got something to say on Findle.
I don't like Fendel. I love him and I hate him. It's such a like. I want there to be more, right? Like I want like I'm pretty sure this has been released, so I'm going to talk about it. And if it hasn't, I apologize. I went into like this whole thing where I thought Lady Trestle was poisoning his food because she was sneaking into his tower. I thought she was befuddling his mind. And he's like, "Nope, I make ham biscuits." I was just like,
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that there's not other ways she's doing it.
yeah. I mean, you're right. I don't know, and that's
Yeah.
I think maybe that's part of why I don't jive super well. But yeah, I would say that on a personal Kristoff level, that Findel's probably not his favorite character in Oxbane. But from like a Scott Shane level, it's like, how can you hate him?
Yeah.
He's
just so good and fun.
Well, and for most of you who don't know, Dwayne is. I think you told us you kind of built this character. So we've been playing together for a long time, and there's this reoccurring character that shows up. And Dwayne, you can talk about it more, but the Grand Magus, and he's like a staple in all we do. And he's the apex of grandness for us. And anytime we hear his name or there's a hint of him in any of the campaigns we run, I go crazy. First of all, but he didn't want. Dwayne said he didn't like want necessarily like Grand Magus himself to be in this, but maybe like there's a character we love just as much because he's just. But this guy is much more quirky than what Grand Magus was. Grand Magus was like a regal, matter of fact, just held power. You just sense that
he attained godhood in the West Marches campaign.
That's true.
Like this guy, I picture is like he's like a, I don't know, like a junk rat from Overwatch, like.
I picture Miracle
Jekyll
Max.
Hyde. Yeah, yes, very much
Princess
so.
Bride. It's like, have fun storming the castle! That's
Yeah.
That's
So
just-
I don't know.
It's very funny to hear your interpretations of the characters.
Well,
Go ahead.
you just get like there's like this for me anyway. Maybe I obviously I read too much into things. That's a thing that I do. But I feel like there's like he's this way for a reason. Like, was he exposed to something, or is he being tampered with? Like, you don't just get this particular level of cuckoo crazy pants without some external force. And I don't know what it is, and because I don't know what it is, I don't know if I can trust him.
Yeah, just like, honestly, I feel like it has something to do with the artifacts, just because there is a certain level of lucidity whenever they're brought up or in vicinity. I don't know. Just spitballing some, like, because I don't know anything either.
Yeah, he could be like a moth priest from the Elder Scrolls series, where like his interaction with these larger than life objects has warped him. But
Yeah.
I feel like there's more, man. And I feel like he might be like, I don't know, Rowan's dad. I feel like he might be. I feel like because Dwayne knows how much I hate time travel, maybe he's Atlas from the future. I don't fucking know.
Oh gosh, I wish.
Yeah,
Go ahead. No, sorry.
Polymorph gone wrong. You're not a white orc anymore. Fucking Findle the Mad.
I really was expecting Shane to lose his cookies a little bit when you guys like begin to learn the flashbacks and the future telling that you're seeing. Because like I know in Shane's mind he's like, don't fucking time travel, even though we're like seeing different times in the podcast. Shane, I can tell you without a shadow of doubt there is always a possibility of time travel, but there's always an equal possibility of zero time travel too, though. So like anything can happen.
So you're really telling me nothing is essentially what you're saying.
That is literally
Yes.
what I've done for 8 episodes. And
Yeah,
I'm
it's
glad
not
to hear
time travel, but it's not time travel.
That's true.
So prophecies toe the line for me. I'm okay with prophecies. I'm really I don't like the retcon of events that can happen with time travel is what bums me out the most. That's why I don't allow it in my campaigns. But as far as just like this will happen in the future and you have a possibility to change it with your actions, that toes the line with me. That's fine.
The plan really is to get like 400 episodes in, and then we'll do exactly what World of Warcraft does. We'll go back and we'll change something, and then we'll play it all again. We'll changes.
Splintered reality.
1000% when you told us which artifact we would choose was going to have an effect on the path the story goes. I'm like, oh, we get to the end, Chrono Trigger style, realize that that we couldn't save the world. We go back to that fateful day. We choose a different artifact and take the next path, starting again at level 2 or whatever we were.
Oh,
God. That would be awful.
100% thought that's where the campaign was going. And still do, a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, we still have the option. Like, what are you talking about?
It's not over.
It's not over. It's just
Yeah.
begun.
Fuck it, get the hammer.
God, I guess we'll get the hammer this time. We'll come back and get the book. Maybe we can fucking focus up and go on 3 and get all 3.
Focus up.
Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying the way your characters interact with each other as well, because we saw that in the last episode at the very end, and which I was very proud of Devin for like playing true to his character when it came to like being like, no, you can't kill the gnome. Like, then there was a moral quandary where he went from, okay, but like, just let me leave. Like, it was, don't kill him.
Yeah.
Actually, I just don't want to be in the room.
Can I come back tomorrow and do it for you?
Yeah.
That's fine with me. Let's just go.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's a weird line to draw.
But
Well, I don't
line
actually
was
think you're
strong.
going to come back and do it. Those are direct quotes.
That is okay. Shane has a
Did
problem.
you actually listen to all the episodes and make notes for this?
Of course he
yeah,
did.
called fucking A+ content. Look
He
it up.
does. He does. He listens to every episode. I'm pretty sure Shane and I are the only people who listen to the episodes a second.
Yeah, no,
I
that's why
listen
we
to
have
them.
comments
No, I
that
listen
say-
to it. Yep.
Yeah, we are the 4 people that listen to our podcast. We've confirmed that.
Just
Boom.
Okay.
That's where we get our 311 downloads. Thank you, everyone who's listened, by the way. And if you haven't, please, please.
Can I have some more?
And you'll get more.
Yeah, what do you mean 300 downloads? We're obviously at
311.
25,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're-
we're at
25
15 million downloads.
We're at 40
All of our
bajillion.
sponsorships have paid for all of the bandwidth. We
Adidas actually has sponsored both me and those sick new Dragon Ball Z shoes. Look those up.
Yeah.
But Monster has not, and they will not.
Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room, right? So I sent an email to Monster Energy Company because working late one night, I was enjoying a Monster Energy drink, and they come in Muscle Monster. I'm not sure if you're familiar. They're protein drinks with energy in it. They come in 3 flavors. They come in chocolate, vanilla, and mocha. And I realized what an opportunity wasted for them to not create a cookies and cream monster that could be literally called a Cookie Monster. So not wanting anything in return, maybe trying to work a sponsorship deal for Lawful Stupid, but not really requesting anything or any money. I sent the Monster Energy marketing team an email stating, hey, what I just said, you're welcome, that's on the free skis. And they sent me back a strongly worded email like, sending us unsolicited marketing requests is against our use policy. You have violated that. You get nothing, sir. Nothing. The reason why we do this is because if we come up with an idea independently that's something that you sent us, you can't come and get us later like, oh, I came up with the Cookie Monster. And I'm like, it was on the free skis, dog. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to be a bro.
Like, just throw us like 50 cents for each episode we put
So
out.
anyway, now I'm boycotting Monster Energy is my point.
As he drinks Monster. Oh, no.
That's the
What a
joke.
shame.
You know what is going to be really funny is when they come out with the Cookie Monster and Shane like sends them another email. It's like, dude, I told you. And they're like, look, you violated terms of agreement. Like, that's what we wanted to say to you, so you don't get any credit because you violated.
I don't want it. It was on the. I just think it's the thing that should exist, and they're missing an opportunity.
Yeah, he's doing
I
it for
also-
the betterment of the world, not for
I also
money.
called Hot Topic and told them to put all their zombie-related paraphernalia in one area and label it Zombiance.
Mm.
They didn't run with that one. They didn't run
See
with that
why
one.
not?
Yeah, I also got in touch with Uber and tried to convince them that it would be a really good idea for them to have like a wake-up call service.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, like they would come and wake you up, be like, "Oh,
Hey, man,
you got a
time
meeting?"
to go.
Like, yeah, like I'm gonna wake your ass up, and then I'll drive you to that meeting. But like, I'm
Get
gonna
some
make
coffee there.
Yeah,
Ah.
I haven't heard anything back, so that means that they're probably taking that idea, and you guys can like benefit from that. But
You know, it's funny you talk about Uber. I posted on Facebook today about Uber needing a 4x4 service, like just a 4x4. You just select.
I saw that.
oh
It's
yeah,
like snowing real hard. I want to hit the button, get the guy with the Jeep. He's like, "Hey boy, I got this Jeep. It's not useful year round, but today's the day. You want to pay my fare?" Like, it's
The rates have
unreal.
shot up to $48 a mile.
Yeah,
I say hello to Dakota and Dominic for watching us right now, and Janelle Wallet was on earlier, so thanks for viewing us, my wife and friend of mine.
it's about time.
Are those like the
we get
two
some
people watching?
support from Mrs. Davenport on a real level, and so thank
To be
you.
fair, the pretty superficial level. She's like
Shh, shh, don't break my dreams. These are mine.
playing
mine
words with
alone.
friends right now and having this run in the background.
She listens to every episode like 3 or 4 times.
really?
No, not at all.
No,
She
not
can
the
hear
ones-
them in the other room when she banishes
She's-
Devin to listen to
Yeah.
him in his nerd corner.
subscribed and it downloads, but that's because Devin opened up her phone and subscribed her, and like that's the extent.
But hey,
That's also
she's
not
super
bad.
supportive, so she takes care of kids for me on Thursday nights, like when they're like crying or like after we put them down to bed, she makes sure like
Why are you guys hating on me?
Devin gets his D&D time. So my wife is super great, and all of your wives are actually, and fiancés, because they allot us this time once a week to get together and bro it out.
Let's just take one moment to say a silent prayer to whatever deity you believe in, or Dwayne, you can pray to science. And let's take a moment to appreciate the fact that we are 4 gentlemen, handsome though we may be, that do in fact host a Dungeons and Dragons podcast in the year 2018, and we all have a woman in our lives who's willing to know us. And that is the extent. Know us.
Look. To be fair, times are changing, and thank God LARPing exists, because as long as it exists, D&D isn't the nerdiest thing you can do.
That's true.
I still think, Settlers of Catan.
What?
Yeah. I stand by that.
fair.
If you play
Yeah.
Settlers of Catan, take it from me, Dungeons and Dragons man, who spent probably about $1,000 this month on D&D paraphernalia, that you're a fucking nerd.
Dominic says, I watch my kid while my wife plays D&D every week, which is awesome of you.
That is super
Yeah.
sad.
You know, I counter Settlers Catan with, or Catan, or however you want to say that, with RuneScape. If you play
Oh.
RuneScape in this day
In
and
the year
age,
2018.
yeah, there are so many better games.
My brother-in-law.
I'm looking at you, Trey Martin.
First of all, Trey Martin is dead.
Oh, God.
If there was a god in heaven, Trey
From playing
Martin is
RuneScape,
dead.
everyone be aware.
It's-
He died of exhaustion. That's true. He was like, just got to get to level 100 mining.
But thank God that Trey Martin did have an obsession with RuneScape.
All right, this is why I told you we need
no,
bring it back.
yeah, that's
I love
true.
this stuff.
We should bring it back. We should
Really
reel it
do.
back
Oh,
into
yeah,
the
yeah,
Lawful
yeah.
stupid content.
I mean,
so
Cookie
Yes.
Monster.
in that, so one thing that we're doing, and we've only done twice now, is people who tweet at us or tag us in Instagram or on Facebook, whatever, you can ask to be in the show. And in that point, we've already had 2 people who did fan art for us go into the show, and those 2 people are.
Tunes
Turinga.
and Punch Chinsky.
Mm-hmm.
Turinga, if you're listening, you're my boy, Blue.
Punchy, you too, my dude.
I've
But
got
the-
no art.
You know, and-
I
and for the-
apologize for not being able to keep your character's gender, rather, under control.
But you know, at least you're
I
not
don't-
assuming.
Yeah, that
To be
hasn't
fair,
been released though.
I don't think Turinga can keep
Oh,
their
it has
own
been
gender under
released,
control.
actually.
No.
I went through that twice now.
It's been pretty much every episode is just a fucking gender fluid Turinga, the guardsman person.
That's
The
true.
You know
Turinga,
what?
the guards person.
It's 2018. We're dealing with a broad spectrum right now.
A spectrum of broads.
I do not
Waka,
support that.
waka, waka.
Hmm.
Oh,
I
he's
stand by it.
Do not support that.
He does not support being equal and everyone being happy. That's what I just heard.
No.
Or Devin.
Fake news. Hey, so
Fake
let's.
news.
I guess if we're on this, we might as well talk about the dice giveaway.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
surprised 1 million people haven't simply tagged a friend like the
I'm
post.
giving away these dice.
Look at that. No,
Have 'em.
Shane, put your stupid dice down.
You can have them if you do your thing.
Look at those things. Look at those nice dice that he has in his hand. You get
Oh,
a set.
I want them so bad.
I know.
Dominic,
This is my personal set because I made me a set alongside. Because I already have them packaged up, ready to go inside their own little bag.
Look at that.
Oh,
So,
it looks
Dominic,
so good.
you're watching this. Dominic, you're watching this right now. You haven't done this. You're not on my list of people who is currently in the winnings for dice. So you need to go right now and tag a friend in one of our dice posts, like the post, and then share your own.
Yeah,
on
there's
your
so
own
many
page,
of
our
them.
posts.
Just-
We only have
there's so
five
many.
sets.
Yeah.
So, but you have to do all three things. And so I can't believe that not more people haven't done that.
It's lack of
It's
exposure.
mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
I created a fake IG account, and I've done all those things, and I'm in the running.
Me
I
too.
create a fake one. I use Uncle Chainsaw.
Gosh, we can't win. Sorry, boys. We out. We can't
I'm gonna
win.
make
Ow.
like
There's so many steps, he says.
I have the dice to make more, so you guys can get your own.
Yeah, no. Actually, my wife is working on mass producing them for her Etsy page.
Oh, is she? Does she have like a resource for these? Because
Yeah,
these are like
resource-
the.
Yeah, they're the crux. I had to dig deep into the deep web.
Mm.
He went into the black web. He opened up a Tor browser.
He did.
Went past the terrorist section.
Mhm.
Just
It was like
before
terrorist-
Trojan viruses.
Kitty porn, actual snuff films, cheap ass dice.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's the
It's
level
there.
of depth of the internet.
That's very intense.
I know. We probably got the same dealer because I had to do the same thing. Like they're not
It's
easy
actually,
to come
it's
by.
actually Trey Martin's ghost.
Yeah, who would have thunk it?
Poor Trey Martin. Who knew that this was the culmination of his life?
Yeah,
Which
Trey.
we
It's
talked
fuck it.
about
Trey
on the
Martin
podcast.
sucks.
He worked at McDonald's.
Damn. Speak ill. of the
Trey, you
dead.
don't suck.
He's dead.
Trey,
He
doesn't
does.
listen-
He's
no,
not
no,
watching.
Devin, you're mistaken. He doesn't listen to our show.
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
It's fine.
I rescind my previous statement.
Yeah, he sucks.
Oh, that guy.
Like I'm pretty sure he still plays fucking Halo 2 and Rune-
He plays them simultaneously. He's going running RuneScape bots while he's playing Halo 2 and blasting his hip hop music into the microphone.
yeah, which is definitely 3-6 Mafia, and I'm thankful that he did because his girlfriend was left unattended.
Okay, cool. So this has been a great 40 minutes of mostly rambling about the podcast, somewhat rambling
Mostly,
about...
if you could stop that at rambling, and it would be a true statement.
Yeah,
Bo,
like, I'm
Bo
pretty-
Butler's watching. Thanks for watching, Bo. I miss you, bro.
Bo, I miss you so much, dog. Tell Susie I said hello.
Nope. Don't know him. You have no idea.
I don't. But thank you. I mean, we had like what 3 questions about the podcast. The rest is just.
I feel
us,
like
you know
the way
what?
fair enough questions.
I feel like this was all... Oh, fuck you, bro. Oh, the heat is on. Anyway,
You know what? You got more questions? Hit us with them. We'll do like fucking
Yeah,
lightning
I
round.
got.
Yeah, do lightning round. Do lightning round.
Yeah, let's do lightning round.
No,
Fucking.
super not. I'm actually shutting down the show.
No,
What?
no,
Oh.
don't.
I'm not
What
done
do you want
talking.
me to do? Like, there's
Just
Lightning round.
I want to do a lightning round.
Okay. Tell me more about your backstory. Like, that's the problem with this format. Is you I don't want you to give up too much about your characters, nor do I want to needlessly ask you about the world that you've been in over and over and over again.
I was like, dude, like, what's your favorite kill? Who's your favorite enemy? Who's the
Uncle Devin?
favorite person?
yeah, you go ahead. You've got questions. Why don't you ask? them?
Oh yeah, I'll answer
I'm not the DM.
Oh.
You're the boss.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
can come up with
This-
questions.
No.
Okay,
come on.
guys.
It's
Guys,
too easy. What's this?
it's Craig.
Hey, what's your favorite colors?
Craig.
What's your character's favorite color?
What? That's not. no, that's
silver.
That's lightning round. Oh yeah.
Red.
Yeah, silver. Christoph's is silver.
Yeah.
Mine is blue.
Oh, and-
Sky blue.
Oh, red,
I would
silver,
not
and blue
have
go
thought.
together really well. Yeah.
That'd be white. Or
Super
Robin's egg
interesting.
blue. One of the two. Anyways. Yeah, no, I don't
That
have
was a
it.
short lightning round.
Yeah, I don't have it. I'm
It was
gonna
so
shut
fast,
down.
that's the point.
This has been the
One
live
flash.
episode, and God knows if we'll do another one of these with this format. Because
Oh, we super should. I think we should make these like 4 hours long, and we just get to the real nitty gritty of like life.
So I do have a question, Dwayne. Are there any decisions that we've made or choices our characters have acted upon that just threw you, like you did not anticipate?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good question. You're right.
yeah, that was a good question. So, like I said, I genuinely didn't expect Kristoff to go around town and start setting up this web of lies, which is very interesting because What?
All truth, no lies.
Sure. So I didn't expect him to go around doing this, and so I had to immediately deal with that because honestly, I set up this town and all these other things, and Shane's just like, hey, look, I'm gonna go fuck with the leadership of the town, which was very. And I even like gave you string. I didn't. Oh man, I didn't expect you to even talk to Lady Trestle in the bar. Like she was just there as a set piece. Like part of it is like characters just are places when you go there, and I don't anticipate you to be there, but she frequents that bar, and so she was there. Like, so no, I didn't even expect you to have that. I gave you a choice for how to handle like Findle, and you didn't take that either. So I wasn't like. It's very interesting the things you're doing. I do love, and it made me giggle, the interaction with the barkeep at
the big dude.
CD. No, the
Goliath?
CD barkeep. No, the CD barkeep.
Yeah. At the
reading
golden,
notes
it's
frantically.
golden something. The golden
Golden
something.
Buckle is the name of the establishment,
Yeah,
and the gentleman's name is
Mr. Eckenbach.
yes, Eckenbar is correct.
Yeah. So I loved the interaction between that where you kept like saying you wanted to speak to him, and it ended up being him, just because that's how that ended up going, which I enjoyed that. Yeah, I didn't anticipate you to do any of that, but that's great. I also didn't anticipate Rowan's character to steal from a priest.
Shit happens.
No, I'm very aware of that. But yeah, those two things threw me for a loop. Alice's character so far has been
Pretty predictable. I mean, I'm pretty
with
simple.
what we got going on.
To be fair, I never said I wanted to steal from a priest. I just rolled really bad.
What?
No, you
Oh yeah, it
rolled-
was just
you
out of a
rolled
woman's
this-
pocket, and it happened to be.
That's true. Yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't specifically. He didn't know it was a
Oh,
priest
that's
going
true.
in.
That's true.
Yeah, it was just crazy random happenstance that happened to be a priest, and the high priest at that.
She was
Yeah,
very
I mean,
aware.
like, you chose
Of the
to
lead
steal too,
church,
though, like-
which is I still don't know why that church doesn't want Superman to see inside.
Yeah.
What is going on? Why don't they want me to know what's going on in there?
You know what? Question for the DM: what designates a persuasion roll versus a deception roll? Because I have lied every single time, and you're like, persuasion.
It's true, and the correct answer is how much the DM has been drinking.
Oh, that's a helpful depiction too. The part of that is, for me, when I'm making the call in the moment, whether I know that you know you're lying, because some of the shit that you say, I don't know everything about your character either.
That's true.
So to me, sometimes you're just being persuasive versus telling a lie. Like when you guys are straight up lying about facts, it's deception. When you're persuading somebody you're lying about your backstory, I don't necessarily know about it. So that's part of where
Sure.
that comes in.
That's
Sometimes
fair.
I just make a bad call.
It's really the way you phrase it, Alex. So, like, there are plenty of times where I've taken something that could be a deception and worded it in character, and then I'll word it in character so it's more of a persuasive act, and then say it out loud, and I'd like to roll persuasion against that. And sometimes Dwayne goes, actually, no, this deception, roll that. Or he says, no, go ahead. And it's just...
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Shane pulls up his notes. He goes, "Yeah, in episode 3 at 47 minutes and 52 seconds."
First
you
of all,
said-
I don't need notes. It's all up here.
It's all
Second of
up
all,
in the brain.
nerd. I love it. I love you.
Super rough.
And
Love
to
you
show you, look,
Oh, you just pressed
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
Boop.
Button on the right hand side. Look, I also have the ability to press the heart button.
Oh wait, there's a smiley face. If I click that,
There's all types of options.
Yeah, and there's hearts.
We just now
was
have
really
the rest
pleased
of this
with
conversation
the
in
ending of the
motion.
last episode with the interactions of the door and the gnome and
that's
Yes.
so funny.
One
Best
thing
ending of a podcast 2018.
Yeah, I still think we
Devin-
should have taken the door.
Explain to I love the idea of you, a gnome in one hand and a talking door in the other showing up to this town.
I'm here to see the match, sir.
Could you just like, what do you do with those characters? Like, what the fuck are you doing bringing me talking doors and gnomes? Like,
You're welcome is what I'd say. No.
To quote
Okay.
Dwayne in that episode, why is it every week you bring me like a fucking walking broom and shit? What is your deal?
yeah, exactly. Devin, explain to me when you went into the house, the Tinkerer's house. Your immediate response was, I lay out a room, I lay out, like robots and doors that could lead places, and you went, I want to go upstairs. It's the first place I want to go. Like,
'Cause-
what was behind that decision?
So my thing is like we're on it. We're doing the thing that I crave so much. Like I want to be on an adventure, and I'm waiting for the bottom to drop out of whatever it is for this gigantic story that I'm going to be a part of to open up. I'm craving it, and so the Tinker is the goal. And if I don't see him on the first floor, well, he's got to be upstairs. So let's go get him. He's got answers.
It's definitely not the brains of the operation.
Told you, dude. Orc, super simple.
That's
I don't even
correct.
think that's what it is. Like, I think that it's just like ingrained in his life that it's like, oh god, where is Yuffie from in Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, the ninja.
The island?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The island? I can't remember the name.
it's the name. It's the name of that island. When you go there, what's your objective? Go up.
I guess that's true.
And that's in like pretty much every RPG in the history of time. It's like you enter a building, it's multi-leveled. What do? Well, the boss is on the top floor, so I guess I'm gonna go up.
Well, here's the problem
Yeah.
with that is because and you guys play enough RPGs to know that you clear the first floor of all because there's going to be treasure somewhere, and then you go to the second floor and you circle around, and then but I didn't do that. I was just like in this, there might be treasures here, but my character as an orc doesn't care about that. He cares about the adventure that's in it, like the
Okay.
story that's going to come
Yeah,
from
but
it.
I would think somebody from a battle school would have more tactical decision making than just go to point B, right? Like that doesn't seem to me like and especially you being a military person, but like think about Atlas going to a battle school. Like, wouldn't he think to clear the area he's like passing through?
Yeah, but nothing has told us that this is going to be dangerous. There hasn't been
True, it's
anything
a
that
house,
signifies.
right.
Yeah, it
Just
was
Okay,
a
you
house.
also
top
performed
floor.
a B&E as well.
No, we
You
asked the
didn't
door
know.
and it let us in.
And
Yeah,
it
the
did.
door let us in.
Yeah, but
We
you
didn't
didn't break
break
this person's
anything.
house. That's still like that's okay. You're not breaking. You're at this point entering. You're trespassing at best.
We're not
Right.
trespassing. We got permission from the anthropological door.
Door.
The door.
Listen, Zelda, you go into the house and talk to people. Pokemon, you go into the house. You don't have. You just go in. Okay.
This also isn't either of those things.
It could be if you'd let it.
Yeah, if you just open up your heart, it could be.
That's true.
So, but anyway, yeah. So like the door says, "Come on in," and then we go in. and
No,
sure,
the
there's-
door says creak, creak. The cow
So-
says moo, moo.
So we go in, and
So
it's a
speaking of
tinker's
that-
place, and so there's stuff all over the ground. I would expect like a tinker to have those things. So I did not perceive any danger immediately. I was just like, let's go talk to this guy. He's gonna have the adventure. It's gonna break open with him, but it doesn't. Not yet.
It did a little bit.
It will in the end when we have to fight him again
Ah,
as the final boss, and he's in a Gundam wing that he built.
Let's talk about that for a second. You boys know he's coming back, right?
oh,
With-
it's super, yeah.
Episode 400.
When we have to go back to get the hammer instead of the loot.
No. Episode 400, in the beginning of episode 400, is when we are finally slain by the Tinkerer,
Yeah.
which resets the clock, and then we wake up and we get the hammer again. But you guys know that's happening, right? And you just couldn't let it happen. You couldn't just let me deal with the problem.
What I think is funny is like as much as we talk about this, and Dwayne's just like haha, like laughing it off, and he is, and I think it's not
Scribbling
going to
notes
happen because we're
furious.
talking about it. It is actually gonna happen.
For the record, I did not say that at all.
That's true. That was definitely Atlas to say, hey, we shouldn't kill this guy.
Yeah, in fact, you were saying, okay, let's kill this guy, but we also have to kill the door. You actually
Yeah.
added to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we don't have to deal
well,
with
'cause it's a witness.
Does the door have eyes, or is it just talking? I guess I didn't.
We were never given a good description of that, but
Yeah,
but I did bring the Tinkerer to the door and say, "Hey, who is this guy?" Because I wanted to confirm his identity with the door, and the door said, "That's the Tinkerer." So it had some means by which to distinguish his identity.
Did he have like googly eyes?
So I always pictured the door.
And Alice in Wonderland.
No, I always pictured the door as. Do you guys remember Face from Nickelodeon Jr.?
Yes.
I
Hi there,
my
Face
God.
here.
The door as like
Oh,
called,
yes.
like door, and then just literally face on that.
Dude,
door
taking me way
in
back.
bronze.
It's
Why
so
didn't
good.
you just say that? I would have identified with the door so much more.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to murder it.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't think like when you. So here's the fucked up part. When I build out these stories and the pictures in my head, unless I like spent time to like really write the scene out, like because you can tell when we're playing, like some of these are more scripted descriptions and setups. And some of it's more, like,
I can tell because you go, wait a second, fuck what I just said, and then you read from a script that you've written.
Yeah, exactly. So those pieces really cut behind the curtain here. Those pieces, they're really well done, and then the other stuff is like, oh, dude, that's what I have in my head, but I don't in the middle, like, who knows what's fucking happening, and then I like lose some good descriptions, like some of the character descriptions you guys have aren't 100% accurate or full because like shit just happens. Like I know I didn't explain the priest to the best of my ability either.
Or like
but-
Taringa's gender.
Yeah, that's been pretty fluid. I mean, I'm pretty sure like the race of her is probably not something you guys remember.
Elf?
I do remember it was a half elf.
Oh, winner. You were half right.
Face.
Alex.
So it's a half human.
I've listened to our podcast a lot.
He does.
In episode 6, at 27 minutes and 36 seconds, the race is noted as half elf.
It's not
Nerd.
super far off.
Yeah, it is. That's right. Because 7 and 8 are in Tinker.
I just super made that up. That'd be crazy.
Episode 6 is where you guys like really interact with Tringa, I think. That's when you guys turn Renoir in.
Yeah.
That's true.
I
Oh,
also
Renoir.
have to note that one of the things we're going to work on, and I'm trying to find more and more time, is to write fiction to our website that we're building. I've already done a little bit of that. Most of that's backstory or like legends in the world, but some of that is current event stuff. So I don't know that you guys have even read some of those Instagram posts, but it's
Read 'em all,
definitely got the Renoir one. Yeah, there's one about Renoir.
Speaking of that, I think this is as good as time as any to actually bring it up. I know we're kind of going to wait until episode 10 is kind of like the episode 10 release, but Alex and I have actually been writing the story for the Lawful Stupid graphic novel, which is going to be a collaboration between Punch Chinsky and Taringa Toons for the illustration. Then we've come up with all the dialogue and the story, and so you can expect that to be on shelves.
2027?
No. You're thinking of the novelization. So it's
the
going to
novella.
be February of 2018. It's very
Yeah. So next one. It's been in works for a while. Oddly enough, before
we record
recorded.
the episodes. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is so there's a little bit of a difference. For example, Taringa is an eagle
Yep.
in this story, and Kristoff actually is he's space. He's the concept of space. And it's like Pokemon, right? So Kristoff is the embodiment of space, and then Rowan is the embodiment of obviously time, and this way he sees the future, and then Atlas is obviously the embodiment of
the land.
On the land, yeah. Matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also in that retelling, Oxbane banned dancing because of how dangerous it was for the town.
They also banned oxes.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Oxbane.
And in fact, in the novel, it's Oxbane, not Oxbane, is the town name.
It's
there's
actually 14 separate books in a row of just detailed ox slaughter.
Yeah, it's true. All
It's
of it.
the worst.
I like to think of them all as in parallels
Sickening.
too, right? They're in fact
Oh,
all
yeah.
happening at the same time, like
Right.
Oxbane 1, 2, 3, 4.
You actually,
draw
if you look
instances.
in the background of some of the pictures, you'll see some of the panels. You'll actually see art from the books previous.
Yeah, and also, like, we don't have the main story in any of the books. It's all in the background, so you have to pay attention to the background to get the actual story of everything.
It's really the story of our podcast as told from the viewpoint of frightened, being slaughtered oxen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far it hasn't interacted with any of the characters.
Mhm.
We
No,
know
the
a
whole
lot
bandit
about the
scene, everything's gone.
plantation life.
Yeah.
You do catch a little bit of some of that political intrigue from an ox that strayed from its grazing pattern and was hanging out outside of the castle before it was recognized by the guards and promptly slaughtered, as is the law.
That's true.
Yeah, as oxen are.
You know what I have loved so far out of the podcast is Kristoff's character. So here's something I've struggled with your character, Shane. When you flat out lie about the Arcane Wars, like,
Yeah.
I have like I'll correct you, and then I was like, I've mentally made a note to stop correcting you on
Please.
things that you don't know because I want you to just like fucking spread misinformation to the
Yeah.
players as well and the audience.
So that actually, I want to tell the backstory on that if
Yeah,
I
go
can.
ahead.
Yeah.
So before we played anything for the recordings for the podcast, we wanted to practice and give an example of our
we
characters.
hadn't
And
played enough D&D before. We really
Well,
had another practice.
it was to
round.
knock out like what our party comp would look like in combat and to see like what our character voices would be and things like that, which we still
yeah.
didn't have nailed
Can
by
I
episode
pause you and say we did that to knock out combat? Devin still didn't know he had rage at level 1.
That's fair.
So I don't know
Yeah.
what that achieved.
A
You just
lot?
edit that out of this live video.
You can't.
That could have been a worse time to pause.
So we played.
You
sorry?
died, so sorry.
You froze, yeah.
We played the lost chapter of Lawful Stupid, in which we journeyed through some. It was in the past, maybe we don't really know when it took place, but we were hearing about these arcane wars. And just because I didn't think Dwayne had any sort of story backed up, or there was actually a narrative involved here, I decided to go ahead and make my character, Kristoff Shindo, a master of the arcane wars, and just be like, "Oh yes, I am very well known with the scholarly readings, and this happened," and just kind of facilitate that. And Dwayne rolled with it because we were kind of making it up as we went along. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then, so we went forward. And so I decided to carry that trait into the actual game where it is lore rich and there is a background. Things are cemented in fact of this world. I was like, yes, the arcane wars. I remember Wynn, the great god of sunlight.
Yeah.
Hey Tanner, thanks for watching. Thanks for jumping
Tinker
on.
Tanner, my boy.
I love you. Brr, brr, brr. He's a mercy main on Overwatch. There's that.
Oh, is that your
Oh
brother?
man.
Yeah.
Hey, Lamborghini Mercy. Go see Southern.
Thirst. He's gonna love it. He's laughing right now.
Oh god.
Yeah,
So
I
that
can't help but
Shane's
laugh
laughing
every
a lot
time
about
Shane
that.
says that. Yeah, every time he's like, "Oh," it's like you immediately go, "Oh."
Yes, the arcane wars.
Oh
Which I
god.
love that
recall.
the Arcane Wars are. It feels like you guys regard them as a joke, which I love even more. Like when you guys reference it, and you guys are like, "Oh, the Arcane Wars, of course, this is being brought up again."
Well, anything that's like shrouded in mystery, it's like, oh, Rowan's backstory. Oh yeah, it was lost in the Arcane Wars. Like, that's
Yeah.
why we don't know about it. Like it's pretty much like anything could have been obscured by the Arcane.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Like, oh yeah, what was that NPC's name again? Oh, it was lost in the Arcane Wars. Now he is known as the Nameless One.
Say his name 3 times into a mirror, and he shows up again.
But it's lost. So good luck.
Oh man, that's funny. That's
Yeah,
good
okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's good podcast.
It's been super interesting having you guys like stumble through the world and see how you interact with it.
Stumble through.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
we've glided through.
Well, I'm interested to see where we go in this next episode because we've gone to Riverside now. If you haven't, it's in the next episode. I won't give away too much, but we're going to Riverside. So it's a new place for us to be in, and I feel like we're going to be at for a while, or it's going to maybe take us to a place where my character Atlas is like so desperately wanting the adventure. Like he feels it in his bones. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I'm ready to play again to get this next few sessions out.
Right, God, we left on such a cliffhanger.
For all the things I remember about our podcast, I don't remember where we left off.
Yeah, there's a thing.
There were some kids that had gone missing.
I remember we went to the place that we didn't want to be, so we weren't there anymore. And then we went to a different place for a reason. Oh,
Yeah,
because the lady who knew the thing.
With the burnt face.
With the scars that I was like...
She's Fire Nation.
Oh, yeah.
Prince Zuko. Prince Zuko, Fire Nation.
It's all Princess Zuko.
Mm-hmm.
And I played the Ocarina of Time.
And his father was very mean and he burned his face.
Yeah, and then we found out the lost legend of the Arcane Wars. So that's a beautiful section.
Yeah.
And
now we know everything that happened. And
then Tinkerer blows the world up and moves to Mars.
Well, first of all, Tinkerer can't survive on Mars because he can't even build robots because they're Chinsky's robots.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he was a terrible tinkerer, I guess.
He was the worst tinkerer. He made, like, tinker toys. I'm pretty sure he just made, like, clacking teeth that you wound up.
That's going to be his next ultimate attack, right? When you guys fire him.
bites your face clean off.
There's just, like, this arcane set of magic missile style, like, chomping teeth. And you're like, well, what do you do? Oh, it auto hits. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. You take 1d10.
As a reaction, I cast shield.
Hey, do you think we should automatically give Palastro a set of dice for still listening to us this long?
I feel like we should automatically give that person our love.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do it right now on the screen. Boom.
I gotta pick up.
No,
you did a weird thing.
He left. He left the chat.
Okay. So, we're just going to call it. It's been an hour of rambling. This has been interesting. The next time we do this, if we do this next time, it will be more structured because I will make Devin structure it. It'll be super awesome.
We'll have like a real Q&A instead of us just being like, you know what? The thing that we did in that place was really great.
Yeah, it'll be like Conan O'Brien.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming to the show.
Worst Conan.
All right, so
That's the
that's
best.
great. Thanks for listening.
Where can they find us? They know. They already know. It's right there.
Yeah,
probably.
it's right there.
You're
on the
watching
screen.
it.
That's why I built it that way.
Yeah.
I did that thing. So, I'm just gonna play us out and slowly mute your volume and slowly raise the outro volume. And by slowly, I mean rapidly. Yep. Oh, you guys are super muted. It's great.